guys, welcome to a very special video that I've been really dying to finish and post and do for over a year now. I did the Hocus Pocus book years ago. It was one of my very first real proud moments as a DIYer. Summed up, it got lost. There was construction done on my house, things were thrown in bags, and my precious book along with other Halloween decors were lost in the process. I took myself time to warn it because I made it, I perfected. The first time I did it in green because I didn't have brown painting. Then when I bought brown painting, I did the red color and everything. But last year I started playing with the idea of what if we give an upgrade to Winnie's book. So for today, I'm reading you guys what would it be like if Winnie's gorgeous book was actually a modern day tablet. So come along and see. To start with our modernizing of Winnie's famous book, which we're gonna have to rename now that it's not gonna be a book. We're just gonna need a cardboard. We're gonna be drawing a symbol, a silhouette that resembles kind of like the shape of a tablet. Then we're just gonna be cutting it out. Could have done the whole, paper and glue and water mix, but as we're gonna be working on top of it with our delighted favorite material of mine, filmy, there's not much to do. But we are going to be leaving the base ready since it's something technological. Let's paint it just black. One thing, guys, that I had forgotten to share with you since I've started talking about using foamy is the fact that when it's first open, it can be really sticky. So the best thing you could do is leave it breathe a little bit before you start cutting. In our case, since Winnie's book is made out of pieces of skin in theory, I'm just going to be cutting different pieces, just flattening the foamy and cutting it so that we can sort of simulate that the book tablet version is made of different skin. I decided to use some of the older foamy that I had too, which is why you're seeing the orange one. But that also helps when it's time to paint so that we can have sort of like different textures. We're going to be covering the entire back, and we're actually going to also be rolling over a little bit to the front. But what matters is that you make it not as perfect, so don't worry about that. What matters is that we can see that it's made, like from different pieces. Sort of like Frankenstein, now that I think about it. Now, very important that before it dries, we work on the details. So we're gonna be cutting slit so that we can add the eye with, the eyelid. I had bought foamy in white because I honestly think it's easier that way than painting it white. And we're just going to be making sure that it looks round and perfect inside. And don't worry too much about the eyelid and having the perfect cover, because we can also add another layer to do it on top. Now here we're going to be working on some of the book's details, like that kind of thing that it had, kind of like a lock. This is what we're creating. And it does have those details with sleeves on sides. So we're also going to be adding that. As you can see, it's rather easy to make. Just need to take your time to work on each detail. And if you could try to do the sleeves simultaneously so you get a similar size, it will definitely help make it much easier so that the book itself is, more precise. Now we're going to be working on the front. So as a tablet, it has borders over the screen. So right now this is what we're going to be doing and why we are rolling the film. You need to make it sort of like 3D. And of course, the book that have like a little line with the snake on top, so we're adding that as well. And of course, being little snakes, we just do the cut for the mouth, some dots for the eyes, and on top, I don't know, I like to make like a little mini cuts with a craft knife to sort of simulate the snake skin. Now we have to finish the borders and also very carefully make sure that they kind of move towards the front. If it doesn't look perfect, don't worry, because when we're adding those little lines that look like the book was sewed together, those lines give us extra space to work in and actually making it like even better if you ask me. And of course, it's going to be a tablet, so it's going to have like a mini camera, so that's why we made that dot. Once it's dried, which can take pretty much 24 hours, probably less, depending on how thin or how thick you made it, we're going to be adding just the details. Now for the eye, I do like to mix and paint the paintings before it's fully drawn, because that way it looks like more alive than if you just wait for the green to dry and then add black. And for the sewing, I had some hot glue that was already cooled, and if you don't, you can just use normal one and then you can carefully paint it, and you can even paint it with nail polish. Final details, making sure that it looks silver, because it's like the log and the details are on that color. And there you could just take your time to be sure that you don't get it on the rest of the book. And of course, we can't forget the snakes that are on the front. And that would be our process for creating this one-of-a-kind modern version of Winnie's book turned into a tablet. I really love the outcome. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I love doing it. And hopefully you're having a lot of fun preparing, because All Hallows Eve is upon us, like next week. I look forward to seeing you guys around.